Welcome to the 2020 podcast. I'm actually doing this at the very beginning of the video because our recording for some reason didn't pick up the very beginning. I am Blue and I am the co-host of this podcast, and my co-host is Alam. And for this first episode, I'm actually going to be interviewing him because he's had a pretty interesting year towards the end. So enjoy.
Weeks. What have you been up to? Because I've heard it's been pretty difficult for
It's
you.
been a pretty stressful month for me so far. Thought December was gonna be pretty good because of Christmas, but I was fucking wrong. Um, first week I think. Well, it wasn't the first week, but it was the last week in November. I got into had a really bad mental state, and I tried to take my own life, sadly. So during that time, I tried to talk to multiple people, and to those people, I overwhelmed my emotions and stuff. I tried telling them shit, and it was really awkward. To those people, I'm really, really sorry for overwhelming you with information. I didn't mean to do that. I should have went for some help. I should have went to therapy, which is what I did after that. I did go to therapy, and I did go to a psych ward for 2 weeks. So now I'm well, and I'm off medication. So I'm a mentally clean person now. To all the people who are supporting me, thank you so much. Thank you for being on my side. I'm glad. For everybody who made it out for 2020, I'm glad I made it to 2020. I'm glad for everybody who made it to 2020 this year. It was a really hard year, but I'm happy for everyone who, throughout all their challenges and stuff, they made it through this year. And I'm really excited to bring on to the new year and finally get some new openings. That's what I had to say.
That's actually pretty good though, that you were able to get through all this and eventually get the help you needed. So did you end up going to a psych ward, or you just talked to a in-person therapist? How was that?
For the first week, I did go to an in-person therapist, and I went to live with the in-person therapist for a week because my mental health was so bad to the point where I couldn't really exist, if that makes any sense. My physical entity was so bad that I needed to go somewhere. So I went to a rehab center for a week for an indoor therapist. It was really cool. His wife made some bomb-ass curry. I fucking love that curry so much. Throughout everything, it was really cool. My mental health definitely increased. That week was after the week I came back. It was really weird. A lot of weird things happened, but I then went to a psych ward just to get some evaluation because I had to, and it was really cool. Psych ward was kind of cool. I taught a kid how to cuss in my language, Hindi. I played some ping pong with some 30-year-old dude who had mental trauma. It was cool. There's an old ass dude who would walk the hallways and shit with his cane, and he'd beat the shit out of this one kid for some reason. Well, not beat the shit, but he would just get his cane and beat the fuck out of this kid for some reason. But other than that, I think the psych ward was really cool. I learned a lot about myself. I made some really cool friends, and definitely the best thing was the socks. For fucking, if you ever go to a mental institution, ask them for socks, because oh my god, they are so. I'm actually wearing them right now as we're doing the podcast. This shit is so comfortable. I'm not even joking. It is so amazing. I know the saying oh, take your socks off when you go to bed. No, leave these shits on. That shit is so fucking comfortable. Not even joking. These are a godsend. If I do say so myself. Sorry for hogging the topic, but yeah, psych ward was good. I'm glad I'm mentally good now.
That's really amazing, and damn, that's a lot of people you met. That definitely must have been a really good thing that you met so many people, because it probably helped just pass time a lot quicker.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and it definitely helped my mental health. And it's weird because these people were clinically insane, but they ended up being the most help to me, and especially my therapist and the people who helped me. They definitely got me on a path that would allow me to do good and stuff. Actually, the funniest thing is that after the psych ward, I had an extra week of winter break. So because I did my finals beforehand, because I had to go do my therapy stuff. So I had an extra week of winter break, and that was really cool. Because my friends were on Instagram and shit, they were asking me where were you? And I was I had to basically inject myself into a psych ward because I didn't tell anybody where I was going.
Yeah. So within the time span of you getting out and just really seeing the changes that did to you, was there anything that might have happened? Did you like hang out with family more? Did you travel? Did you like?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I was gonna say. I went to Japan for 3 days. I think just like last week. It was for Christmas. It was really
Yeah.
cool. I was in Akibara and I went to Joten. Joten is a farmlands area, and then I went to Tokyo and I stayed in one of their hotels, and it was really nice. I had my PC set up with me as well, and it was really cool getting into that culture and stuff of Japanese people. They're also very misogynistic though, so if you're a woman in Japan, just good luck, bro. Like, you're on survival mode. You might as well just like, honestly, like, and the funniest thing is, for all my people who play The Sims is a great game. The Sims 4 has this thing where if you play in Japan, The Sims 4, women cannot get jobs. Like, you have to be like, if you make a woman character as a male, or like, not as a male, but if you make a woman single character in the house, you cannot get a job. Like, in the Japanese, like, in the Japanese version of the game. And it's so weird because it's like, I don't know, I found it really weird because the game basically would just glitch out whenever a woman would try to get a job. Because that's just how misogynistic the country is. They indict male leaders, or like they indict a male leader, and a woman could be a housewife. But in reality, well, no, like, women can also do jobs as well. Like, they're functioning members of society. It's just Japan doesn't think of it that way. Like, in their culture, they're very misogynistic. But everything else was pretty cool. I went to Tokyo Land. It was nice. I went to Akibara. I went to the cities. I went to like some of the boba stands. Boba's amazing. And then I just spent Christmas with my family. It was really cool. I loved everything. Japan was nice. Besides the misogyny and the racism, I think it was pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, you're fucking lucky. But yeah, that definitely sounds like the type of vacation you just would want to take, especially if especially if it had family involved too.
Definitely, yeah.
So, aside from what's been happening to you lately, do you like what are your favorite kind of foods?
Favorite foods? Favorite type of foods? That's a hard question to answer because I eat a very big variety of food. Especially since I grew up in an Indian household, the only foods that I was ever exposed to was curry, a lot of pronta, which is basically like a roti. That's just like a tortilla thing that's like cooked, and it's cooked with dough and a lot of flour. You basically cook that as to like eat it as a singular thing.
Did you say tortilla?
Well, tortilla, is that what it's called? Tortilla.
Yeah.
Tortilla. Yeah. That's what I meant. Tortilla. I meant to say that, not tortilla. But it's just that with a lot of flour mixed in with the dough, and you basically just eat that as a whole. But like, after I moved out of my Indian household and I came to America, there was like a lot of foods that I was exposed to. There's like burgers, tacos. Ate a lot of chalupas, quesadillas. A lot of Italian food too. I ate a lot of pizza, a lot of Greek food as well. I think out of everything that I've eaten, I think curry is definitely one of my favorite foods because I'm more used to it. I'm definitely enveloped to the spice that the curry has. A really cool Southeast Asian cuisine, if I do say so. It's really cool. It's like a combination of spices. It's really cool. A lot of herbs. It's got some turmeric, cumin, some ginger. You can even have some dried chilies in there, which is actually like why it's so popular, is because of the chilies, the curry leaves. It comes from curry trees, and like they have like these warm but like bitter tasting spices in the food, and it's like it's just really good as long as you cook it right. It's all obviously just like a really good food overall, and you can like have it into like different variations of it and stuff. It's like really cool. My favorite just being beef curry or just chicken curry overall. But yeah, I would just say curry is my favorite food.
So I'm gonna ask you this question, and then I'll follow up with something else. So being from Cali, it's definitely a very Hispanic heavy state, or not being from Cali, but like living in Cali currently. How do you feel about just like Mexican food in general?
Mexican food in general is actually very nice. A lot of my friends, they say generally they don't like Mexican food just because of like, but I feel like they haven't really been exposed to that culture of Mexican food. I feel like Mexican food should be enjoyed by everybody. I feel like everybody in their life should at least go to a Mexican restaurant or go. Have you ever been to a food truck?
Yeah.
Okay,
There's plenty here.
I was about to beat the fuck out of you if you haven't. The food trucks are so amazing in California. Like it's like cheap food, really good, not cheap, but like cheap price for food. Very very good, very nice. I've eaten from so many food trucks, and I'd say Mexican food from like food trucks and like just from taquerias and just like from like border cafes and stuff. I feel like Mexican food is just so good to me. Like I feel like everybody in their life should eat from street vendors. They should eat from like places. Support your local businesses, by the way, guys. Definitely support those businesses because they're in some trouble during COVID and stuff. A lot of people have had to go out and stuff. I've tipped extra on cashier on people and stuff because they just really need the money, especially right now. And I would say like just go to your local businesses and definitely support local Mexican restaurants because they're also like struggling right now. But the food is amazing. I would say for sure. I'd say from a California a Californian just like perspective of Mexican food. I feel like I haven't been exposed to like the full experience. I feel like if I really wanted to go get like an actually good like meal, a good Mexican meal, I would actually go to Mexico myself, or just go around any area.
I feel like if you want like a really good Mexican experience with like food and stuff, you should definitely come to my town. It's like it's very Hispanic heavy.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say the majority of people here are Hispanic or Haitian, and there's definitely like really authentic.
Yeah, that's what I was into. Yeah, authentic meals and stuff. Like, have you ever had huevos ranchos? They're like it's like this meal with avocados, chicken, tortillas, eggs, and like salsa. It's like so fucking good. Holy shit!
Yeah, that's super
And then the tamales with like the homemade chicken tamale. Oh my fucking god, dude! I ate a tamale once from a food truck and I almost had a food orgasm. Like holy shit, those foods are so amazing. Just like eating and biting into the food is just so good. Like I don't know, dude.
I had like 50 of those a couple days ago.
Oh my god, dude! Have you ever had a Mexican drink like a michelada?
Yeah,
They're like cocktails and stuff. Yeah, and there's like these like liquors with like lime juice and hot sauce, and they put that in the drink. It's such a good fucking combination, and they put the fucking ice. They don't put it in the drink. They put it on the skirt of the glass. Like
yeah,
it's so fucking cool to me. Like the way they make the drink is so cool. Oh my god. And there's also like we can also go for like conitas. There's like poblanos, pico de gallo. I think I'm saying it. I think I butchered that, but those are good meals as well. But the pico de gallo. Okay, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The Mexican people watching this podcast, I'm sorry. I am kind of fucking stupid when I pronounce names, but
are you Hispanic viewers? If this been a break, I myself am Hispanic, and like it's fine. It's fine.
Okay, sounds good. But if you're a Hispanic viewer and you speak Hispanic, you haven't had Mexican food, what the fuck are you doing? Go into 2020, leave 2020 with some Mexican food, because that is probably the best investment you can make this year. Out of everything that's happened, I think Mexican food is one of my favorite investments. Just eating it was just so good. That, or I'm just probably fucking crazy because I'm probably very biased towards it because I live in California and I have like a really big overview of the food.
Yeah. So I was gonna follow up with like, because you're Indian, right?
Yeah.
So this is gonna sound surprising, but I haven't really. Maybe it's because the area I live in, but I haven't really ever experienced like much Indian food. But the ones I've had,
it's okay. No, it's completely fine. It's because there's not that influx of Indian restaurants around the U.S. apparently. Where I live in California, there's not even that big amount of Indian restaurants. The only Indian restaurants you'll ever see are just those little restaurants you'll see like on the side of highways and stuff that sell they sell really good. They sell good food, but it's just like for the price and stuff, it like kind of gets overpriced. Some food is like you can literally just make at home, but through like dishes and stuff. I feel like there's just not that big of influx in Indian restaurants. But if you have gone to an Indian restaurant, I applaud you because one, amazing, thank you. You're supporting Indian restaurants, thank you. And two, really good food. I'm not even joking, really good food. And cashiers are always nice no matter where I go. whether it be like an Indian cuisine, a grill, could be another restaurant, or tandoor, which is what we just call like healthy Indian food. We eat them like into like casual dining. They're like these little indoor outdoor stuffs. They're really cool. Any Indian restaurant, any Mexican restaurant I went to, I've always been greeted by amazing people and like cool swag people. If I do say so myself, they're always welcoming with the food, and the food is always so good. Like no matter where I go, so I'd say definitely like if you live in you haven't been to Canada yet, right? Like you're not in Canada.
No, not yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you move to Canada, definitely like try to get some of that Mexican, or not Mexican, try to get that Indian restaurant, because in Ontario there's a very big influx of Indian people that say the N word, but they make some good food. other than that, it's like it's good. All the Indian food is good. But yeah, you were saying that there wasn't that many Indian restaurants in your area.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, the ones I've had, it's been really good, and services have been just pretty amazing. So like, you know, if you're ever down to let your boy try out some curry, let me know.
For sure, yeah. If Cisco ever comes, or with his girlfriend, you guys ever come, well, I'll definitely try to fucking get some of that curry in Sacramento or like any area of California. I'm definitely up for that.
Yeah.
We can even go to Orange County, because Orange County has some really nice fucking restaurants. That shit's hella nice.
Anyways, enough about food.
Definitely.
I'm actually really curious. Any games you've been heavily into?
Any video games? I'd say for the recent, the games I've been really into is Minecraft, Stardew Valley. I've been into a lot of Final Fantasy 14. That's a game I've been really into. Have a lot of hours in that game. Some Dragon Ball and some and just some CS:GO, just some games me and my Russian friends play. We've just been chilling and stuff. I think the highest agglomeration of games that I have is just a little bit of Minecraft or Stardew Valley. I think those are the games I've spent a lot of time in, and Final Fantasy 14.
Fantasy 14 sounds like a really good game. Haven't had too many experiences with like MMORPGs and stuff like that. I've had some experiences with like definitely Elder Scrolls, World of Warcraft, and unfortunately Avabel too.
It's fine. No, I don't think of you any differently, but fuck you.
Anyways,
for any of our viewers, just don't search it up, bro. Just you don't even like get into that community of Avabel too.
Don't.
For the people you know what we're talking about, bro. Just don't fucking get into it, please. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyways, so I've actually haven't tried Final Fantasy. So exactly how is that?
One of my friends from my psych ward, he like recommended it to me, so I started playing with him. It's an MMORPG basically, like any other. It's a really cool system. I thought like their community is really nice. I played WoW for a little bit. I played games like WoW, Black Desert Online. I said their communities are very toxic and stuff. When you go to Final Fantasy 14, it's a completely different environment because a lot of the people are really nice. It's like a really cool, welcoming community. Like if you're ever playing video games and you're playing a MMORPG and you feel like you're getting left out by like dudes who are just misogynists or just dudes who just fucking suck overall, Final Fantasy 14 was such a nice game, like really welcoming. I definitely recommend it to everybody I talk to. Like if you're ever getting into an MMO or a game that's massively multiplayer, definitely play Final Fantasy 14. But I'd say the biggest downfall of the game is the fact that it's a monthly subscription, so you have to pay monthly. It's not a one-time payment. You have to pay over a period of time. But it's also like a really unique pay system, because like for a month you could be really into the game and for another month you could not, so you can like not renew your subscription and stuff. So I'd say that's a really interesting aspect. But overall, I just recommend the game to everybody I like, whoever like says they want to play like an MMO, because it's just really good. I would say WoW, but WoW is so toxic to the point where I just say people like get away from the game, because your mental state will fucking degrade talking to fucking idiots in WoW, because you're gonna have to either be thinking it's like you get gaslight in a fucking MMORPG, then it's probably not the best game to play, especially during 2020.
To put it into perspective, as a person who has unfortunately played Avabel,
I'm so
let,
sorry.
let's just say that WoW makes the Avabel community look like fucking saints.
Dude. Oh my god. Okay, so for anybody who hasn't looked at Avabel, I didn't want to do this. I really didn't. Fucking Elias knows how much I hate the game as well. I've talked about multiple times. I can make this entire podcast probably me hating on Avabel too, but the reason the game is so toxic is because people from the Philippines play the game. That is all I have to say. People from the Philippines, people from Japan, they play the game. And if you say anything about yourself and you say like you want to like leave yourself vulnerable, do not. Because the game, people like that will fucking ruin your perspective of life. They will like they will ruin your dreams. They will fuck you up as a person. Like my friend has like multiple times gotten like his IP leaked on Avabel 2 just because he didn't do shit that other people told him to do. Like it's such a toxic game. Don't ever play it. Just don't ever play it. Play WoW, bro. Play WoW. Like play WoW. Play Final Fantasy. Play ESO. Like do anything. Just do never touch that game. Never touch Avabel 2.
And there's also this instance where if you go to the international side where it's a lot less Filipinos. No, nothing wrong with like Filipinos in general. It's just like the Filipinos that play Avabel, because I've dealt with many scammers.
Yes, yeah. Oh, that's also what I wanted to get into. The game is full of fucking scammers. There's like currency in the game that you have to get by if you want to get really cool weapons and shit. And there'll be people who like want to sell it to you for like a cheap price, but they're in reality scammers. They removed the feature, but I remember during that time of Avabel Online that there was literally like, oh my fucking, it was so fucking scammy. Holy shit, it was so much scams. If you ever have the chance to go on Steam, go to Steam, go on the search bar, and look up Avabel Online and just look at the reviews. Just look at the reviews, and you'll understand just to not play the game.
And I think like I was saying before, and even if like you're not dealing with the Filipinos who play the game or like the Japanese players, the international side, from what I heard, I don't really play the game no more. The last thing I heard was like apparently there's like feud going on, and it's just really like part of it just feels really cringy.
Yeah, there's like feuds and stuff that occur in the game from what I've heard, but I'm not really involved in the community because I fucking hate Filipinos, especially that game as well. I don't mean that in a racist way. I'm sorry for anyone who said that. I just mean I hate Filipinos that play Avabel 2 online because they're incredibly racist and they're misogynists overall. They are the pinnacle of incels. They are people that I will never want to talk to in my life because they're just horrible people.
Speaking of Filipinos that play Avabel, did you hear about like the recent scandal that involved the Filipinos?
I did not know what happened.
So, there was a group of Filipino players who played Avabel, and they were part of a guild called Exilium. And apparently, what they were doing is they were buying gems, which are like it's a gadget game. You know, that's the type of shit. That's the type of currency you use to buy paid items. And apparently, what they were doing is they were recharging Apple. Like they would buy something and they would recharge it. Apple would pay them. And they kept doing that for like a whole year, and they recently got banned. And I heard that it was so bad that Asobimo, which is a company who owns Avabel, might actually take legal action, and that's actually a first when it comes to this fucking game. Yeah, that's a first for them to actually. It's the first for the fucking game because I've never seen anybody even like pay any close attention to the game because oh my god, like for anybody who like just watched this podcast for the first time, me and Elias have like talked, and I used to be really active in this app called Line, and the reason I even got into this godforsaken fucking game called Avabel Online 2 is because of Line. Line, in a way, is, Elias, I think you can just what is Line, Elias? If you can describe for our audience. Oh boy, I actually deleted Line like quite a while
me
back.
Too, but like, can you describe to the audience what it is, like what the fucking app is like?
So the best way to describe it, it's a mix of very toxic personalities. There are people who get exposed. There are individuals who expose people who did some really fucked up shit. But there's also like very cringy feuds that often lead to people leaking each other's IPs and shit like that, or people getting doxxed. And I remember, I can recall there was this one guy. He wasn't that bad. He was actually kind of like good for doing this. He would like he would talk about like, well, he wouldn't talk, but he would like try and expose like pedos and shit, which was like good. But like the fact that there were so many people defending the people he would expose just kind of shows what kind of community Line really is.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like they're just incredibly racist people. They're like the boys, if that makes any sense. If you've ever been on TikTok and seen this trend of the boys, it's like a worse version of the boys. It's like solidified into an app. Like, I generally dislike anybody who uses Line, if that makes any sense. Except for the people who like use it for friends and stuff. And people might ask, like, what even is Line? Like, why do people even use Line if there's like other better messaging websites? Well, it's because Line was, for a long time at least, was a site that I used to talk to my family members because they lived across the world and stuff. So there's like apps that I use like WhatsApp and like Line, but Line would usually do like a service because my family in India, they don't have service like out there. They have like Wi-Fi, but they don't have service because there's not data centers in that area. So Line is able to use Wi-Fi calling and stuff, and you're able to just talk to your family members. They recently just got, well, I think Donald Trump recently just got a bill that disallowed that bill from occurring, so that also happened. But that's usually what I use Line for. But I quickly realized you can make friends on the app, and I was like, wow, that's so cool. I can make friends. And I went into the cesspool through my entire high school career of making friends online and just being introduced to these fucking horrible people. And that I would like go on the app once like every week because it was like, okay, maybe, because I always had hope. I always had hope that I'd find a cool person to talk to. And it never worked. So I just went on Discord, and I found more cool people there. So, in the end, just use Discord.
Yeah, if you're
just don't be a weirdo, bro. Just do not be a weirdo. That's all I say to anybody who takes a lesson from this podcast. Do not be a weirdo. That's all you really need to do is just don't be a weirdo. Treat people the way you want to be treated.
Yeah, if you're an epic gamer, use Discord definitely, because like fuck any other app.
Honestly, yeah. Like after Skype fucking got overshadowed by Discord, literally everybody just uses Discord now. So, yeah.
So we're actually on a time crunch, so we're gonna like probably move on to one more topic after this, then we'll end it. Definitely next time, if we figure out, because we're using a bot to record this. Definitely next time, if we can figure out like how to properly have a very long Discord podcast conversation with somebody. Next episode would probably be longer. So just anybody that you want interviewed, really. I'm down. I'm down for that.
For sure, yeah, for sure. Okay, we're gonna move on to our last topic, and after that, we're gonna be done with the podcast. You can definitely go this on platforms, YouTube, Spotify. I don't. What are we putting this on? YouTube, right?
Use YouTube because
YouTube, just use YouTube. Yeah, we're not rich enough for Spotify yet, but once we do, we'll have that on Spotify. But for sure, just go on YouTube and you'll definitely look at this podcast. Re-record it, share it with your friends, and yeah. Okay, what's our last topic?
So our final topic. I honestly don't know what to talk about. But like any interesting shit you've ever done in life, you know?
I met Tyler, the creator, at the Gulf store once.
Really?
Yeah, and he put me on his Instagram story. Well, he didn't put me on his Instagram story, but I was in one of his Instagram stories, and I was like, "Hi," and awkwardly in the back. In 2018, I went to the Gulf store once with one of my friends because it was in Orange County, and I was like, "Yeah, let's go meet Tyler, the creator," and he was there. Tyler, the creator was there, and it was fucking cool meeting him and shit. He's a cool guy. If you ever get the chance to meet one of your celebrities, don't be an awkward guy. Don't be a fucking nonce. They're normal people. Don't treat them like fucking god deities, okay? They're cool people. Just talk to them as normals, okay? Do not treat them like gods, because they are not gods. The reason I have to specify this so much is because Whenever I see people talk to celebrities and shit, they idolize them like as if as like they're gods. Like nobody can touch them, and like when you talk to them for the first time, it feels like you're speaking into the eyes of Jesus Christ himself. But in reality, they're literally just normal people. Like if you can talk to them about anything that's going on in your life and stuff. And that's scary what I did. I went to another creator and I talked to him, and he was a cool guy. It was with I was getting a set of golf of floor shoes. Shout out to Chloe. And the shoes were cool. I liked them. Tyler was really cool. He comes off as an asshole though, but like that's just how he is. That's how Tyler is. But like yeah, that's pretty much the only interesting that's happened to me. That and moving to America, but that's pretty much it.
Do you actually have like if you don't mind, do you actually have like a screenshot of the story, or like
a screen like I didn't have a conversation with him. Like I just talked to him.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, that's
pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Anybody who watched, thank you. Really appreciate it. This is helping fund my my extinction of white women. Pretty much it. Thank you for watching, guys. I'm your co-host, Alum. This is the host. You're supposed to say your name.
And I'm Blue.
Okay, bye, guys. Goodbye. End it.